I think they finally might kiss. If they don't right now, I'm going to be livid. Guys, I don't like any of these. I think I'm going to return them right away. Just thought I'd let you know because these were... Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. So I'm actually filming this midway through the video because I always forget to film an intro, and I think I forgot to film one on a previous video, so apologies for that. But today we are going to do a reading books my favourite booktubers rated 5 stars. That is the title of it. I keep butchering and I keep getting it wrong, but that is basically what we're going to do today. So I've picked, I think, 4 or 5 books from 5 different booktubers, and I'm going to go through and read a few of them. I don't think I'm going to get to all of them, but I'm going to read a few, and then maybe I'll do like a part 2 if that's something everyone's interested in. But yeah, I'm having it so far, because I'm coming to you from before, I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of thoughts, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to throw you back to past Sasha now, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Please let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts were, and yes, I'll see you soon. Good evening. So as you know, the first book that I'm reading is none other than Destiny Sidwell's, one of her 5-star reads, which is Binding 13. I don't actually have the physical copy, so I've got it on my Kindle, and I'm really excited and nervous to read this one because obviously it's got a lot of hype online, and I've heard pretty much nothing but quite positive reviews of it. I know it's quite a hard hitting book, and I feel like everyone that is a bit worried about it says they ended up loving it. So I have high hopes, but it is... How many pages actually is this? Well, on the Kindle it says it's 613 pages and for a romance, but I don't really think it's... I don't know if it's meant to be... What's that word? I don't know if it's meant to be promoted as a romance. I don't know if that's the right genre. I'm not too sure. I just know it's very hard-hitting topics, and I know a lot of people cry, but I've been eyeing it up for a very long time, and when I decided to do this video I was going through Destiny's Goodreads and sort of like what books she's rated 5 stars, because not all of them are on her Goodreads, and this one came up, and I have heard her speak about this very passionately, and I just want to know what the hype's about. I've heard so many people speak about it, so I feel like I need to join. But that being said, I am nervous. I'm really hoping I enjoy it because it is a long book. But I have high hopes. I feel like it must be good if all of the booktube girls are saying it is. So that is what we're going to start with in this reading vlog, which I'm very excited for because it is a very anticipated read. So hopefully I will have some updates soon. It is nearly 8 PM, so I'm not going to be reading for that long, probably like an hour or so. I've literally read 1 chapter, so I'm literally on chapter 2, and yeah, so far I don't really have anything to say, but I'm hoping. All I know is that obviously I'm in Shannon's point of view, the first chapter and the second chapter, and all I know is that she's had quite a rough time at school and she's been bullied quite a lot, and she's now moved to the Tomlin school. I can't remember what the school's called, but like obviously it's the Boys of Tomlin series, so it's like the Tomlin school. I can't remember the school's name, but she's moved it basically to that school, so I'm guessing this is now where we're going to meet a few other characters. So yeah, I'm intrigued, but I just hate reading about bullying, and even just that first chapter when she was explaining sort of like her past situations at school and how bad it was, it made me not want to cry as such, but like it did hit me. So I'm prepared. I'm mentally preparing myself to be probably heartbroken because that was already not my favourite thing. everyone, it is now Thursday and I thought I'd quickly update on where I am with Binding 13, which I started yesterday evening. I did read a bit this morning and I'm now on my lunch break, so I've read a bit and I'm going to continue reading, but I thought I'd quickly update on where I am. I'm now 114 pages in, 19%, and I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm enjoying it and it's such an easy read, and there are parts of it where I think, okay, I understand why people love this, it's funny. There are moments between the characters, especially Gibbsy. I understand why everyone talks about Gibbsy and why they love him, because he is really, really funny, and I do understand that. But there are certain things that happen, like, I'm not going to give anything that's a spoiler, not that much has really happened anyway, to be honest, but there's a scene where Johnny is like Googling colour charts to see like what colour Shannon's eyes are. So there's like sweet little moments, but then there's also a lot of parts where I'm cringing inside, because I'm very aware that he's 17 years old and she's 15, and I know there's obviously reasons why they are the way they are and certain things, but I haven't got to that yet. So for me, I'm just like, oh, for instance, there's a scene where the boys all go out and then they end up back at Johnny's and they're on the porch. He's on the porch with one of the other boys, I can't remember which one, and we're in his head and he's like, oh, ending off the night with like a whiskey on the porch, and I'm thinking, you're 17, like, and it's acting like 25, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't quite always hit. I feel like sometimes I'm reading it and I'm thinking, are you unaware that you're 17? And there's just a few things that are a bit cringy, like when he's speaking about certain things and she's speaking about certain things. I think it's just because I haven't read a book where the characters are that young in a very, very long time, and it's just the tone in which it's told is very obviously school, but that is because they're in school. So it's not me saying the writing's bad or anything's been done wrong. It's been done very accurately with how everything feels like a massive deal when you're younger, but also I'm very aware of there's obviously like a lot of trauma and there's things that have been happening in, I know Shannon's side, I don't really know Johnny's yet, but I'm aware we're going to have things that are revealed that then sort of confirm why they act the way they act in certain situations, and sort of more on their character development. But currently I am enjoying it. I would say it's currently sat at about a 3.5, but yeah, I'm just not loving it. But I will say, fast paced, very easy to read, it's a fun read, so I'm not mad about it. Like, I'm enjoying it. I just feel like I need to get into the thick of it a bit more, because as I said, I'm only 20% in and it says I've got like 13, tell a lie, god sorry, my hair is literally ridiculous today, I don't know what is going on. Yeah, I've got 11 hours left, so I've got a while left in this book. But yeah, I thought I'd update. Hopefully I'll have something happens and I'll have maybe a bit more of a positive one. Not that this was negative, but you know, I just would love to say that I love it as much as everyone else does, so I'm really hoping that happens. But yeah, we'll see. Please ignore the state of my room. I'm actually going on a run. Who would have thought? Not me, because I don't normally enjoy running. However, I should not have drank that because I'm going to get a stitch. However, I'm trying to get more into it. I go through phases of enjoying it and hating it, and today I feel like I should do it, so that is what we're going to do. I look a bit like a little egg and my hair looks disgusting, but I'm washing it tomorrow, so don't fret. Anyway, that is what I'm about to do, and then also ignore any mess in the background right now. And then I'm going to carry on reading. I read a bit on my lunch, but then I was really tired and I closed my eyes for 10 minutes. So I am 22% in now. I'm on page 131. And I just want, they've had like another interaction, Johnny and Shannon, and I just want them to have another one. Like, we've only had about, I want to say like 2 chapters of them actually interacting. The other 8, because I think I'm on chapter 10. Or 11. The other 8 or so have just been them thinking of each other or talking about each other. And I'm like, just come on. Anyway, that's where I currently am. But as you can tell, I'm now going to go force myself to run. I'm literally not even going to go far. So, shouldn't take me too long, and then I'm gonna make myself some dinner, and then I'm gonna read. So I'm gonna go because I look like a little egg and I'm not vibing with it. Get this run over with. Lauren Roberts has just announced that she's doing a Fearless UK tour. Ew. Anyway, this is my favourite song at the minute. I can't really play much because obviously I don't want to get copyright. Let me just find the bit that I wanna show you guys. You're gonna know it because it's on TikTok. That's where I heard it from. Where is it? That's how it makes me feel. I don't know the words yet, but I also like this bit. Hold on. This would be me running. That would be me running. Anyway, if you wanted to know, that's what I'm going to be listening to. I'm now going to go... Whoa. Ah! Brilliant, I'm dropping everything. I'm going to go run it out, so see you in a bit. Good afternoon. I thought I'd quickly update on where I am. It is now Friday afternoon and I'm on my lunch break. I feel like I say that all the time, but that is my reality. So I'm on my lunch break and I'm now 226 pages into Binding 13, so I'm 37% through. I'm actually really enjoying it right now. I feel like to start with, sorry my hair is annoying me, I feel like to start with the first, I want to say like 15%, I enjoyed it and it was quick, but I just felt a bit cringe. Like when we were getting introduced to the characters, I felt like it was really focused on how tiny and fragile Shannon is and how big and like strong Johnny is. And I get it's obviously so you can like see the difference and stuff, and I get it's like your introduction to the characters and it all obviously adds to the story, but it just made me cringe a lot at the start. And obviously, as I said, there were like certain scenes where I just felt like it was a 17-year-old, 15-year-old thinking they were like 20 years old, and it just didn't quite match. It wasn't really Shannon, it was more Johnny. I felt like there were things he was saying and doing and it's kind of like didn't match with the fact that he's 17. But I'm actually really enjoying it. I feel like it's picked up. I'm not going to give you any plot points, but I think the last clip I was saying I really want them to spend more time together, because up until when I've been reading today they didn't really have much interaction together, and I did get a good half an hour long chapter of them two together and I was loving it. I really, really loved it. There was like one part where I did cringe a bit, but other than that I was enjoying it, and I feel like the story is picking up. There was some tough scenes that we've dealt with. There's one in particular that dealt with Shannon and her home life. I'm not going to go into it, but I think it actually says it in the synopsis that her home life isn't great, and you basically got a view into that when something quite horrific happened. I'm not going to go into details, but yeah, we basically got a look into that side of her life for the first time, and it was really horrible to read about. It is not a topic I can handle very well. I just find it really difficult. But I didn't cry or anything, but it wasn't the greatest. And then seeing how Johnny, I mean, he isn't really aware of what happened, but like seeing his reaction to the assumption that something's happened to her, I was there like kicking my feet. So it's a hard one. I am enjoying it. Obviously there's so much more to go. I'm less than 40% in, but I am flying through it at the same time. I feel like before when I've looked at this book, I've always thought, it's so long, is it ever that serious? And now I'm reading it, I'm like flying through it. Every time there's another chapter I'm like, oh, just read one more. So yeah, I am enjoying this more than I was yesterday, so I have higher hopes. I feel like yesterday was sitting around a 3, and now I feel like we might be sitting around a 3.5. So if it keeps going this way, I feel like we could be higher up. I don't think it will be a 5-star currently, but I feel like we could be like a 4 maybe, depending on what next happens. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to read some more of this tonight, and then tomorrow I'm actually going to Liverpool to see my sister because she lives up there, and we're actually going wedding dress shopping, which is really exciting. So I have a 4-hour car journey to Liverpool really early Saturday morning, so I'm hoping that'll give me a good time to plough through some of this. And then obviously I'm going to be out in Liverpool most of Saturday. I'm hoping to go look around the Waterstones there, and there's a book I want to pick up for a different video, so I'm hoping they'll have that in stock. And then Sunday morning I'll be coming back, so I'll have another 4 hours in the car to hopefully maybe finish this on Sunday, which would be great if I could. But then I'm also think I'm in London potentially on Sunday, so it's a very busy weekend. Not sure how much reading time, but obviously I do have 8 hours in the car. Might kiss. If they don't right now, I'm going to be livid. I knew it! Finally! Okay, it didn't quite go how I thought. Good afternoon. So it is now Saturday and I am, if you couldn't already tell, in Liverpool. I haven't actually updated today at all because obviously I've been travelling here, and then I was with my sister and my mum because she was trying on her wedding dresses and she actually found her wedding dress, which is really, really exciting. So we did all that and then we had some lunch, and now we're back at the hotel. We're going out for dinner tonight, but I have, I think, let me do some quick, oh god, I look absolutely dishevelled. Let me do a quick bit of math. So it's like 2 hours basically before we need to leave. I think 2 and a bit actually, but let's just say 2 hours. 2 hours before we need to leave for dinner. So, well, dinner and then we're going for a drink. So that'll be fun this evening. But I did also buy a book for this challenge. It's not going to be the one I read next actually, so I'm not even going to show you. But I went into the Waterstones in Liverpool the first time going to that Waterstones as well, and picked up the book for, one of the books for this video. But the most exciting thing to update is I did in fact finish Binding 13 on the car ride up here. I pretty much read the whole entire way and it made it go really, really quick. So I'm very, very grateful I had this to read. And my rating, oh my god, I was so conflicted. I think it is going to be a 4. I was close between a 3.75 and a 4, but I think I have to give it a 4 because obviously I know there's another book, so I know what I'm waiting for is going to happen in book 2, and I'm not going to say what it is because obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but there is one specific thing I was waiting to happen to see a certain person's reaction and how they handled it and how they sort of like kind of hopefully fixed the situation, and I was not given it. And I was just, every chapter I was like, it has to be here, it has to be here. The ending was horrible. The ending of that book made me want to sob my heart out, but I also knew that was coming, like it was very evident that was going to happen, and I just feel like it could have been a bit shorter. Like I was flying through it and I wasn't bored at all, but I feel like certain things were drawn out and then like some sort of main plot points were cut short, and I feel like maybe it's obviously because we get a lot more in book 2, I'm hoping, and we get a lot more answers, and I feel like now we've had book 1, which is very long, but it obviously, you learn so much about the characters, you learn about each character, sorry, but you learn a lot about each character's background. You're given such a good setup that I feel like book 2 must be, I'm hoping it's phenomenal because I feel like we've got such a good setup. So yeah, I am going to go 4 stars. It didn't quite hit 5 stars for me because there were parts where it just didn't, it wasn't my kind of thing, but overall I had a really good time. I really enjoyed it, and it was what, a 600 page book, and I flew through it and I was not bored, let me tell you. So I cannot really complain. So that is the book that I've read, obviously because of Destiny, so thanks to Destiny, and I really enjoyed it, and I definitely will be picking up the next book. I really actually wanted to start it right as I finished this one, but I was like, no, that's not what we're doing this time. So the next one we are going to be reading in this video is none other than a very anticipated read for me, which is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, I believe. I've only got it on the Kindle. I do actually have a physical copy at home, but obviously because I'm away, so I just brought my Kindle with me, and it is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm so excited to read this, and this is a book that Mariana, one of my other favourite booktubers, rated 5 stars, and also this is also a book I sort of am buddy reading with 2 friends of mine in February, and it's now February 22nd, so I need to read this in February, but I'm so excited for this. I've been dying to read this one. So I'm going to be starting The Book of Azrael hopefully in a bit. I think I'm going to take my makeup off. I've got a peppermint tea brewing in the corner. I'm going to have that, take my makeup off, chill out, and then I'm going to shower, get ready, and then I'll hopefully have a bit of reading time, because it shouldn't take me very long to get ready, to be honest. But I just want to take makeup off because it feels disgusting. And it feels like a very long day of like being in the car for 4 hours and then walking around Liverpool all day. I feel like I just need to chill out a bit. But I'm very excited to pick this up, and I'll let you know what I think. And I also am loving it. I'm loving the sound of it just based off the first sentence, which is, you're in Diana's point of view, which is the female main character, sorry. And it says, seriously, you're supposed to be ancient warriors feared by all, and you flinch. The worst part hasn't even happened yet. And it says, I raised my fist once more and it connected with his cheek this time. I already love Diana. We're already off to a strong start. Strong female lead. Say no more. But anyway, that is the update for now. Hopefully I will enjoy this one as well. We haven't obviously found a 5-star yet, but we will see. And yeah, fingers crossed. I love this one as much as I loved Binding 13. Good evening. It is now Monday. It is Monday. I don't think I updated at all yesterday, so here I am. I've actually just been filming. You're on a tripod. I don't know how to really show you this. Are you going to be okay there? The reality of filming stuff for booktube. I'm trying to get better at filming for TikTok. I'm not very good at that. I don't know, I go through highs and lows with it, to be honest. I'm trying to get back into it, but yeah, my room actually looks like this right now. Books there, I have stress things, my Kindle, my current read. Oh! However, that's just reminded me, guys. Hold on. My Fairy Loot adult book came. I actually have 2 subscriptions on Fairy Loot. Currently I have the YA box with items, and I have an adult box, just the book. So yeah, let me show you. I actually opened it yesterday, but obviously I didn't film anything yesterday, so I don't know why I threw that. It is, so the theme was Divinity's Descent, and the book, I mean, are you ready to see the prettiest book of your life? Hold on. I get really nervous getting out of this bag. This sleeve thing. Here we go. Bye. Bye, have fun. See you later. So the book we got for this month, February, is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. Look at this. Wait for it. Oh, look at this. Like, oh, sorry. Wait, don't focus on me. Wow. I mean, the top and the bottom are a bit boring, it's just black, but like this middle bit. It says at the back, the Temple of Dawn cordially invites you to participate in the immortality trials. So there are going to be trials. I haven't even shown you the best bit yet. Hold on. So, as always, you get a reverse desk. I feel like I'm an advocate, like I'm advertising Fairy Loot. I'm not, by the way. But yeah, this is the reverse cover. So you've got like them, and you've got like this. I look so funny. But I prefer the original one. But I do think that is really, really cute. Maybe if I really enjoy it and I love the two main characters, then I will. And then the actual hard cover of the book is like this. It's got like the scorpion, and obviously it's really, really cute. And then just look at the end pages. Like, oh my goodness. And it is like digitally signed. And then we have, oh, she's got quite a few books. She's got a duology called The Song of the Last Kingdom duology, and then the Blood Air series, which is Blood Air, Red Tigress and Crimson Rain. I don't think I've heard of any of them. Maybe I'm wrong. Are they the same end pages? No, they're slightly different. And then we have this beautiful other end page. Would you look at that? Anyway, so that is the adult. Is it the adult box? Yeah, adult box. And I'm so excited. On here, if you want to know a bit about this book, it says, in a world overrun by demons, An Ying, I think that's how you say her name, enters a deadly competition to win a chance to save her dying mother. As she navigates the trials, she must decide whether to trust a mysterious ally whose secrets could hold the key to her survival or her demise. Wow. Oh, and we also get a bonus extra POV chapter at the end. So I'll be reading this at some point. I mean, I've only been, this is my first ever adult one. I've only just got on the subscription. I've been on the wait list for every level of subscription box that Ferry offers for about a year. I finally got off the YA one with items in December of this year, so it took me about 9-10 months. And then this one I was on for like a year, and I got off it in January. So my first one was obviously the February box. And I just love them. I'm so excited for when I have my dream library room, because I will have that one day, and I can showcase them, because currently my other two from December and January that I had with the YA box are still in the boxes. That's why this one is still in the box, because until I read it, I'm keeping them in pristine condition. I will sell them or give them to someone if like I don't enjoy them, unless obviously I love the edges, which I do love the edges. But yeah, I haven't got around to actually reading any of the Very Loot books that I have with the subscription yet, but I will get around to that. Maybe I'll do that as like a video, I don't know. Would that even be fun? Would that be fun for anyone? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought I'd show you because I forgot I opened that yesterday and I hadn't posted, like not posted, but I hadn't shown it, because I love doing that. Anyway, moving the hell on. I need to tidy up my room because I'm surrounded by books. I mean, you know, it's not a bad place to be, but it's a freaking mess. Anyway, and then I thought I'd update where brain malfunction. I'd update you on where I am in the Book of Asriel. I'm actually mid-chapter right now, which I hate being in mid-chapter. I'm 126 pages in, 18%, so I haven't actually read much, but I am enjoying it. I feel like I need to put in some proper solid time, because I haven't been able to put in a good chunk of just like reading time. I've been dipping in and out, so I'm going to try to do that after I've tied up this. Just chill, have some proper reading time. I feel like it's needed, but it is really intriguing and I am really enjoying it. Where's my phone? Here. So if you want to know what the book is about, it basically follows Diana, and her sister are both immortal, because her sister was basically dying one day and Diana basically prayed to any god that would listen, and said basically she would sacrifice anything if they would let her sister live. And this guy called Caden, who I don't think he's a god, but he's called an Igmoran, which I think that's how you say it, and I don't actually know what that is. It's kind of just like a mythical, like a fantasy creature thing. He comes down. It's kind of like Fae, but it's not Fae. If you get what I'm putting down. And he basically comes along and he's like, oh yes, I will give your sister and you immortality, but because her sister was dying, the only thing she got from that was being immortal, whereas Diana, the other sister who obviously made the deal, now is basically like his servant. So she only sees her sister here and there. She has to ask permission, and her sister lives in like the mortal world, and then she goes off and she's basically his second in command, and she's like his biggest weapon, and she can, she's like a blood dreamer. This happens like within the first chapter, so it's not a spoiler, but like there's a scene where she's interrogating someone and she licks their blood, and then she's able to like dive into their memories. So it's really intriguing. I've never actually read a book with someone with that sort of power, I guess you'd say. But she has others. She can also, what's the right word for this? Take on any form. So like she can switch into any form and stuff. She's just basically like a boss bitch, but she's obviously working for this horrible guy, and she's like basically kills people all the time, and she's just under his thumb. She's not allowed to do what she wants. She just, yeah, basically does whatever he tells her, and they're currently looking for the Book of Asriel because I think he believes that if they find it, they'll be able to become back in power, because there's like these other fantasy things, like the Igmorans, which is like Diana and Caden and like that whole realm, and then there's like the Celestials and like different groups, and I think basically the Celestials took over the world and they want it back, or they just want some more power because they're not like the highest in command, if that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. I feel like I'm butchering it, but that's kind of the situation. So she is helping look for the Book of Asriel because, guys, I don't like any of these. I think I'm going to return them, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know, because these ones I don't really like. The only thing I found funny was this one, and this one made me laugh. Roses are red, these pages are worn, the book I'm reading is basically porn. Whoa, I did not mean to zoom in. And then this pack is basically just like, you can do it, motivational. Make yourself proud, grow through it, do it for yourself, keep your head up, loving is easy, and everything is figure countable. What? Everything is figure outable. What the fuck? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't swear. Like, take care of your mind. You're my sunshine. I just don't, sorry, if this is your kind of thing, cool. This is not my kind of thing. Like, keep going. We can do hard things. Like, I'm so aware of all this. I do not need it on the back of my Kindle. Good things are coming. It's gonna be a great week. I just do not need this. I can't deal with stuff that's cringe and, oh, bless your heart. Yeah. Small boobs, big dreams. Yeah, this isn't for me. Hello everyone, it's actually been quite a long time since I last spoke. I don't actually remember the last time I updated on where I am, but I actually have now finished the Book of Asriel. This week has been pretty manic work-wise. It's just been so busy. I've had a lot going on, and I've also been trying to get through this because I'm actually away. I'm going to the Cotswolds today with a few friends of mine for the weekend, so I'm probably not going to read anything. I won't be filming, so I thought, let me get this done prior to going, and then I don't need to worry about where I am with this book. So I can officially say I finished the Book of Asriel, which I'm so happy about. Obviously, as I said, this was one of Mariana's 5-star reads, and I rated it a 4-star. I actually was very, very close to rating it a 3.75, but the ending kind of bumped it up for me to a 4-star. But I will say, I just had such high hopes that I think because I went in expecting a lot, I was left slightly disappointed. And I think that is quite a controversial opinion because the reviews I've seen, everyone else has absolutely loved it, and I wish I could say I was one of the people that loved it. I did enjoy it, do not take that as I was hating it, but the first, I want to say like 20% had so much potential, and I felt like there was such a build up, and then from about 25% to about 70%, like it was just all very heavy world building. There was just not really much plot. There was a lot of, this is the aim, this is what we're trying to do, but we were never getting there. And like every time I thought, okay, we're at a point where it's going to go further, it didn't. And I felt like the plot, just kind of stayed quite flat, and it was quite just dull. And it was like high stakes, but also it wasn't very high stakes, if that makes sense. Like it was just a bit, I don't know, it just didn't hit for me, basically. I wished it would have. because obviously, like I said, I was so excited. I probably will read the next book in the series because the cliffhanger that's left off, like the way book 1 ends is quite crazy, which is obviously why I brought it up to a 4 for me. And I feel like because of how much world building there was, world building, like characters were introduced, like all of that happened in book 1, I feel like book 2 has to have quite a good plot because of like how book 1's left off and everything we've learned in book 1. So I'm thinking book 2 could maybe be a 5-star read, but for now this one, yeah, was a 4-star, which is still a very good rating. 3.75 is still a good rating. It's obviously over half, but yeah, obviously I kind of thought it might be a 5-star, so obviously when you go into a book thinking it's a 5 and it just doesn't quite hit, it feels you leaving it makes you feel a little bit deflated. But I did have a good time. I would also like to say I don't know if the reason I didn't love it as much is because I went off the back of Binding 13, because honestly that book took me for a whirlwind. I've actually downloaded Keeping 13 and I'm going to put this video on pause, obviously because I'm going away this weekend and I'm not going to be able to read much. I also am desperate to know what is going on, and let me tell you, I read the first chapter of Keeping 13 last night quickly before bed. I was like really desperate to get back into this and I cried. I was already crying in chapter 1. I was like, whoa, okay. Not an easy read. The things that happen from literally you pick up exactly where you left off from Binding 13. I wasn't too sure with the way it ended if we were then going to like jump a week, a month, a day, or like, you know, somewhere at a different point in the timeline, but no, you literally pick off that exact same moment, which threw me off. And oh, also, so I just realised I put this like Magnolia Parks print in the back of my Kindle, which I just thought I'd show you because I haven't shown that. But yeah, I was sobbing and I'm just so glad to be back. I feel like, I don't know if that's a reason why the Book of Azrael didn't hit as much for me, but something just fell. What was that? Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but something just moved in my room and I can't figure out what it was. Let's hope nothing. I don't think it was important. Anyway, what was I going to show? Anyway, yeah. No, I have no idea what I was saying. I've completely lost my train of thought. But my thought process is I'm going to read Keeping 13 because it's just been on my mind and I just want to finish that Binding and Keeping 13. So I'm going to finish Keeping 13 and then I am going to jump back into this video and read the 3rd book from a booktuber rated 5 stars, as is the whole premise of this video. So obviously I've done Destiny's and I've done Mariana's. I'm not going to say what book will be because I might change my mind when it comes to it. I probably will be reading it quite soon anyway. So I mean, for you guys it's going to be 1 second, but like, just so you know, there will be a little bit of a break and then I'm coming back into this because there is a few books on the list that I do really want to read. I haven't yet decided which one because one of them is a book from a series. Oh, sorry. One of them is the last book in a series and I don't know if I'm ready to read that one yet. One of the other ones is a romance and then the other one is a mafia, like dark romance, which I haven't read a mafia dark romance in a very long time. So they're all really different. The one that's in the series is a literary fiction, so they're all different. So it kind of just depends on what mood I'm in when I come back to do this. But yeah, we will see when I get around to it. Hello everyone, it has been a while. It's been nearly a week. I was about to say I couldn't remember when I last updated, but it was on the Friday when I went to the Cotswolds. So it is now Thursday next week. I have finished Keeping 13. Not that I filmed anything to do with it because that was not part of this video, but if you wanted to know my rating, I rated it a 3 stars. It just, I don't know, I feel like it had so much potential and then like the first 20% was good and then I feel like we just fell off, like it was quite dull. Like, I keep saying dull. It was just quite like slow and nothing was really happening. I do understand it's a romance, but I was like, we've had so much build, we had a lot going on at the start and then like nothing kind of happened and then things started to pick up a bit and then nothing happened and then like this main plot point that I kind of knew was going to happen, I kind of thought that might be the case quite quickly and then that happened and then it was just like 30% of nothing pretty much, like just not much. So hold on, my cat's doing something, I don't know what he's doing. Sorry, my cat was scratching on my dad's suitcase. would not have gone down well. Anyway, so yeah, it wasn't as great as the first one. I did enjoy it. I feel like I may enjoy Saving 6 and is it Redeeming 6? The two that are in Joey's point of view. I think I might prefer those two because there were parts of Binding 13 and Keeping 13 that I just felt a bit cringed and it just wasn't as much for me. I mean, the first one was a 4-star, so the first one I did enjoy a bit more. The second I kind of was just like, okay, can we just get to the point? But anyway, that was not part of this video, so it doesn't matter. I thought I'd update because since obviously I've finished, what the hell am I trying to say? Since I have finished Keeping 13, I'm on the next and probably final book for this video, the next booktubers 5-star recommendation, which is none other than Sarah Caroli. I'm sure everyone knows her. I feel like she's literally the queen of booktube and she can do no wrong in my eyes. I was actually going to read the winners, oh sorry, my hair is really, I was actually going to read The Winners by Frederick Backman, which is the 3rd book in the Bear Town trilogy, for her recommendation because she rated it 5 stars and that is the next one in the series for me. However, I feel like timing is key with that book because it's quite a long one and it's very emotional. I also don't really want it to end, so I'm kind of going to hold off on that one for now. So I've picked a different 5-star read, which is The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I've actually never read anything by this author before, but I've heard Sarah, I've heard Sarah rave about it multiple times, and I feel like it was one of her favourite reads from last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm literally only 50 pages in. I'm 16% through. Also, I picked this one because I feel like the books I've read recently, if you've watched my continuing series I'm in the middle of, they were all quite big books, minus one of them. The books I've read in this video, obviously I've done Binding 13, the Book of Asriel, they're both over 500-600 pages. So I was like, do you know what, I just need something. And then obviously reading Keeping 13, I was like, that is also like a 700-page book. I was like, I just need something light, fluffy, short. So this one ticked all those boxes. And everyone, it is now Tuesday and annoyingly I filmed a critic on Saturday talking about where I was with The X-Files, my thoughts, opinions. I think I also gave an overview of the book and the premise, and I've watched it back and it's actually in slow motion, which now I've said that, I actually don't know how I did that and I'm really hoping I've not done it again because I don't understand how that happened. I don't even understand. Didn't even realise there was a function that did slow motion. So the sound wasn't there and it's just me slow motion talking and it is probably horrific to look back. I've put it in 2x speed, it looks normal, but obviously there is no sound. So I'm gonna have to try recap what I said then and give you the update of where I am now, because I've actually finished The X-Files yesterday evening and I did rate it a 4 stars. I obviously read this because of Sarah Caroli. She rated it 5 stars and I wanted to read one of her 5-star reads and I really enjoyed it. If you're unsure of what the book is about, and I don't think I've spoken about it because as I said the clip was slow motion, what am I talking about? Slow motion and no sound. So The X-Files basically follows Georgia and Eli. They were together when they were younger. They were like childhood best friends, not childhood but like I think like college best friends, and they were best friends for years and then they ended up dating and they were together for, I don't know if it was 5 years, but they were together quite a while. They lived together and stuff and then they ended up breaking up and then they haven't been together sort of like in close proximity, for about 5 years. They have a joint best friend and they sort of go under the idea that they get on really well and there's no issues when they have to be forced together. Like there's a few social settings where they've been pushed together within those 5 years, but it's literally like one evening, one day, like there's nothing long term and they don't really speak, but they sort of have this agreement when they broke up that regardless, because obviously they have a shared best friend who's called Adam, that they will go on as usual and not make their breakup cause any issues or like a rift within their friendship or make Adam in this uncomfortable situation. So that's kind of like where it starts, and Adam is actually getting married, so they're obviously both going to be at the wedding, but there's a load of things that go wrong, and Eli and Georgia end up teaming together to help sort of fix the wedding. And like basically Adam says it's like cursed, literally everything you can think of goes wrong, and Eli is trying to be there for him as a friend a bit more because he's lived in New York and has been quite away from the friendship group for a while, and Georgia has always been such a big helper. She's always such a yes person. She loves to help and feel needed and just sort of like be that good friend to everyone. So obviously they sort of end up both saying they're going to help, and that's when they're sort of forced together and they both help try fix the wedding. So that is kind of like a summary of what the book is about, but it is, I just really loved it. There was a part where, I don't know whereabouts it was in the book, but I think it was like maybe like 60-70%, maybe it was before that actually, maybe like 40%, somewhere between the middle part of the book, where I did think something needs to happen, something needs to pick up, because it felt a little bit like it was going to slow down, but then it sort of picked up really well. And I just love Eli and Georgia's relationship, and I resonate with Georgia a lot. I feel like a lot of her characteristics and the way she thinks and the way she processes things and handles certain situations, I completely resonate with. I'm not going to go into like what those situations were, purely because I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but there was a lot of things that happened, and yeah, she's very much puts other people above herself, or before herself, sorry, and she's just such a great friend to everyone, but then she also never really thinks of herself, and she sort of deals with this inner battle of trying to be there for everyone, but then who's there for her, and when she puts everyone before herself, sort of like, is she actually happy, and is she doing the things she wants to do in life, or is she prioritising everyone else? And it's sort of this whole big conflict and stuff. But it was incredible. I love their relationship. To start, I think I've said it, I don't know if I said it on Saturday, I don't know if I've said it in another clip, but the only thing I do think which would have made this a 5-star is if we had Eli's point of view. If that book was dual point of view, I feel like it would have been everything I would have wanted, because you could tell Eli's feelings and emotions just through obviously her point of view and the way he acted, and it's very evident his love for Georgia, but I feel like it would have just hit so much harder if we had his point of view. But nonetheless, 4 stars. I did really, really enjoy it. I just think, yeah, I needed that, like, I wish I had his point of view to just solidate the 5-star in it, but I did really, really enjoy it. And if I'm going to say one thing, I think my review when I posted it on my Fable and Goodreads was those paper rings, like the paper rings. I'm not going to go into it but the paper rings, I was tearing up, like when that was all going on, tearing up, because I just can't, like, it just makes me feel a lot. And the man that Eli is, like, bless his little soul. But anyway, that was The X-Files, and obviously as I said, I rated it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it, and I finished it last night. So I think that is it for today's video. There were 2 other booktubers recommendations that I did want to read, but I kind of feel like I'm slumping a bit. I feel like I'm close to a slump just purely because I did like a series video, and then I've done this one pretty much back to back, or with only like 1 or 2 in between that I picked, and I feel like I just need to mood read for a bit. I need to let myself read what I want, no pressure and everything like that. So I think I'll do a part 2 to this. Please let me know if you enjoyed it, if you did. If there are any booktuber recommendations that you think you'd like for me to read, please let me know. But I think for now I'm going to pause this, and then we will probably do a part 2 at some point. But I've really, really enjoyed it. And then just to recap, obviously the first book I read was the Book of Asriel, which was a 5-star read of Marissa's, and I rated that one I think I actually did a 4-star on this. I'm actually dropping it. It's now a 3.5. I keep switching my mind on it, but the more I think about it, the more I've realised I haven't really thought about the book at all, and it did feel a bit too long for me, and there were just certain points it just didn't hit for me, and it didn't give me what I kind of am after in a fantasy. So the Book of Asriel is a 3.5, and then we had obviously I've gone in the wrong order I think, but we had Destiny's read, which was Binding 13, which I really thoroughly enjoyed, and that was also a 4-star read. And then obviously to finish off we had Sarah's pick, which was The X-Files. So overall I feel like it's been a very positive reading video. I feel like everything's sort of a 3.5 and above is quite positive. Obviously we didn't find a 5 stars, but I'm sure we will soon. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any other future videos you'd like me to do, or if you've read any of these and just anything like that, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.